Today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, speaking your truth. Here on this channel, about ambiguous grief from being mothers who have someone else parenting our children and having to heal from that. Speaking your truth is a huge part of that healing journey. And as you know, for decades and decades and decades, the system has silenced us. The courts have silenced us. Fear has silenced us. Shame has silenced us. And it doesn't have to be that way. And it's not that way anymore. 3 years ago, I shared my story for the first time on TikTok, and I was terrified. But I did it. And it's been a beautiful journey and process ever since. So today, we're going to talk about speaking your truth and sharing your story. And no, TikTok might not be your way of sharing it. I'm going to give you other ways to speak your truth and share your story if social media isn't your thing. But let's get into it. So I have 6 ways to speak your truth. And I first want to say that your healing journey is about you 100%. But there's something that's even more healing than healing itself, and that's helping other people heal. The connection that you make when you help somebody heal, when you impact somebody else, when you inspire somebody else, like that is super powerful. That's what the healing journey is all about. So when you speak your truth, if you do so publicly and you make yourself vulnerable, you will feel very vulnerable. You are putting yourself in a very vulnerable spot, but the rewards of that are profound. So ways to speak your truth. One way is social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the platforms. You can make a talking head video like this and speak your truth. You can make a video with pictures, like a slideshow, and do a voice over, and you can tell your story while the viewer's watching the photos go by. So that's 2 ways to share your story on social media. When I first shared my story in February 2023, I was scared. I hated videos. I hated making videos. I hated the way I looked. I really hated the way I sounded. Like, I could not stand videos. But the world had changed. Like, the world was going to social media and posting videos and making videos. And I had to adapt to that. And I had to step out of my comfort zone. You know, I almost say to people, if you feel comfortable speaking your truth and sharing your story on social media, then do so. But I don't mean that, because I didn't feel comfortable when I shared my story, and it is really powerful and effective. And we need to be aware that sometimes in life, and especially on a healing journey, that it's good to step out of our comfort zone. I think something to ask yourself to decide if you're ready to step out of your comfort zone is to ask yourself about the negative comments you could get, the negative feedback, hate, ignorance, ugliness. It's part of the world. And so, I was not looking forward to the negative comments, and I did get them. But before I even posted my first video, I knew that I was a good mom. I knew and I know that I'm a good mom. And so nothing that anybody ever could comment would change that. And so that kept me in a safe place, though vulnerable and scared, to share my story. If for any reason I thought that a negative lashback or something ugly would plummet me to a dark place, I wouldn't have done it. And I definitely would never recommend anyone else to do that. And some of the comments can be harsh. I found my community and my safe space on TikTok, and I am so grateful for my community and my followers on TikTok. I don't get negative comments anymore. I went to Instagram And I have a video with 4.3 million views and 16,000 comments, and they are 98% all mean, telling me that I deserved it and my kids are better off without me. Like those are harsh words that you don't say to people. And so if you don't think that you can handle that, then don't share your story on social media. But I don't want to discourage you from sharing your story on social media, because I know what it's done for me, and I know what it does for others, and I know what it can do for you. The people with hateful comments, you can ignore. I know when I see hateful comments in another mother's comments, I stick up for her. I'm there, bam, letting that person know. But in my own comment section, I would never do that. So I do recommend sharing your story on social media when you're ready. A second way to speak your truth is in a support group. There aren't many support groups for mothers who are no longer parenting their child, but there is one. I attend it every week, more than once. It's available Monday through Thursday. It's an amazing, wonderful group called Bellis. You can go to www.mybellis.org and sign up. And I totally recommend Bellis. And it's a Zoom-like setting with moms all across the country, and you are able to speak your truth and have people who understand and have compassion and make connections. And that's what life's all about, making connections. A third way to speak your truth is through blogging. There are a few sites I know of that you can put your writing and post it as a blog. Substack is the one that I recommend. It's a very welcoming, supportive community of writers there. And for me, writing is such a release. I love writing. And through writing, I release. And a lot of times I figure things out. And it's so nice to have to go back and reflect on. So you can speak your truth without showing your face if that's something that you wanted to avoid through a blog post. A fourth way to speak your truth is through art, drawing, painting. You can paint what you're feeling or experiencing on a canvas, and you can share that on your social media, or you can just keep it for you privately. You can take it to a downtown market to sell it. You can do whatever you feel comfortable with, but stepping out of that comfort at the same time too. But art and creativity is so therapeutic. A fifth way to speak your truth, if you don't want to make a video and go public, you can follow people on social media who do, and in the comment sections you can speak your truth, share your story. You can show support for other people. If you go to my TikTok and in my videos, go to the comment section, you'll see tons of support and you can connect with people there. A sixth way to speak your truth, if you're feeling very bold, is a podcast. You can be a guest or start your own podcast. But speaking your truth is so vital in your healing journey. The system wants you ashamed and silenced and isolated. And so the best thing you can do to get your power back is to use your voice and to speak your truth. And if you have any questions or comments about that, please put them in the comments. Speaking your truth helps other people. Think about that. Just imagining helping one person, one mother out there who is depressed and thinking about giving up, possibly. Who's in a dark place and feels all alone. Think about helping one person. Now think about helping 50 people or 500 people. Like, that is so powerful and wonderful, and that is available to you. And so step out of your comfort zone and speak your truth. And even if you don't make it public in any way, shape, or form, sitting down with a pen and paper and writing your truth and telling your story is still very therapeutic. And I encourage you to make the time to do that if you haven't. And if you have, then maybe think about sharing your story.